All right. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Bison, aka Bison Trades, over on Twitter. Welcome back to another episode of RareFUD Radio. On today's episode, we have mint season. Mint season is upon us. Oh my goodness. In 24 hours, we got 3 mints, a total supply between all 3 of them of about 27,000 NFTs. We're going to be breaking it down. What's going to go on, what's happening, how we're viewing them, how we're going to play them. We'll also be talking about our recent Klanos obsession. I can't stop thinking about Klanosaurus. I can't stop thinking about him. I literally was 12 o'clock last night, should have been in bed. I was just sitting there scrolling Tensor, scrolling Soul Sniper, scrolling, well, not Magic Eden, because why would you? Scrolling all of them, just trying to find some deals, man. Just trying to look at Klanosaurus. Dude, I love Klanos so much. But we're going to be talking about all of it today. We'll be talking the NFT showdown results. We'll be picking our next NFTs for the showdown. We'll also be talking a little bit more alpha. And joining me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, my brothers in content. Let's bring up Dorian first. Dorian, how you doing today, my man?
Yo, what's going on, dog? My dogs are going ham in the background, so bring up Joe and then I'll jump in.
Okay, that sounds good. What's up, brother Joe? How you doing, man?
We're doing good, bro. I'm recovering. I'm regaining brain activity as I breathe this clean oxygen every little bit.
Okay, we got to dive into that because I think everybody needs to hear. You were literally breathing in gas fumes. Let's break that down a little bit. What happened? I know everybody knows you recently moved to Florida. We're not telling you what part. Don't be weird. But Joe, as far as what happened, you recently moved. You've had some moving issues. Everybody does in a move. Break it down. What happened? Why were you breathing in carbon monoxide, bro?
So long story short, I had a oven range, so like a stove put in by Lowe's, gas, right, hookups. They punctured the gasket, so the piece they put on to connect, right? They punctured that. He never back tested, so it was spilling out gas into my house for almost 2 weeks, about 10, 11 days, and it was creating CO2 only with combustion, right? So anytime I went to light my stove or my oven, it would create CO2 and that would emit into the atmosphere. So it set off my alarm one time. I didn't think anything of it. It was a new oven. I thought I had to just burn off the shit inside. You know how that goes. So I opened up all my windows, and dude, I'm an avid marijuana enjoyer, and I sit out my back deck a lot, and I have my doors wide open and my windows open when I sleep. I love the Florida air. I'm used to Jersey. So I think that helped a lot with emitting some of the low CO2, and I wasn't really cooking much. However, the gas was leaking the whole time, and that would have compounded into something worse. Luckily, I was able to smell the gas, call a tech out. He fixed it up, and everything's good to go now. And I was able to slide by with another blessing, bro. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, man.
Dude,
Dog,
that
I'm
is some
glad you're
dirt.
alive, man.
Yo, let me tell you, and this is no cap, dude. I'm not even serious. I could tell you guys 5 or 6 times near death experiences in my life where I wake up and I go, who? Like, I don't know. I like legit might have someone watching over me, bro. So we're here to put some good to the earth.
Did
I
Drake
guess.
make God's plan for you, dog?
Yeah,
I hope so, bro.
basically, it feels like it, dude. So, well, first off, I'm glad you're alive. Two, it sounds like you're about 5 or 6 lives in of your 9 lives. So, you might want to watch that. Um,
Damn,
I
that's the
feel that
truth.
though. I feel that. I've definitely had. Well, I'm waking up. There's no shot. I should be alive right now. But that's okay. I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah.
Door, how's life for you, bro?
Hey, dog, every day's a holiday. My boy Joe's alive and kicking, so that's probably the best thing ever. Next to Claynosaurus pumping. I'm sorry, Joe. It's like, I love you, man, but you being alive and Claynosaurus ripping.
I'd rather die and Clay knows the pump right now, Dora, and then my family will reap the benefits. That's how exposed I am, dude. So I feel you, bro.
Dude, we're all overexposed to Claynos, dog. It's
Pull a Andy Warhol on me, and I'll be happy, man, bro.
Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous. Okay, well, yes, Claynos is pumped. I can't stop thinking about Claynos. I don't know what it is. And this is coming from I was not vehemently against Claynos or anything, but when they made it, I was like, just it wasn't so much I didn't trust Claynos, it was I didn't trust the community. They're cooking, and I think they're pulling over a lot of ETH money too, which is good. It's not even so much the amount of money they're bringing. It's the fact that they have way stronger hands than Solana, way stronger. They're so much more impervious to like minute price movements that they're like, dude, I don't even care. What I bought it in at like 50 SOL, it's only 70 SOL now. Like I'm holding till 500 SOL, and then I would consider parsing out. So I don't know. I love the fact that they're just like more patient money and means more with the supply off the market. But we will definitely break down Claynos. There's just a lot of alpha over there, just between all their collections and everything. So we'll definitely break that down. Until then, we do have a little bit of a market overview, as we usually do every episode. As far as volume goes right now, a little bit lower. We're about 15% down on the day, 127,000 Solana volume, 53% market share for Magic Eden. Still above 50, but
hey, it's creeping up,
close.
dog.
It's getting close. Representing about 67,000 Solana volume. Tensor still number 2. So this is not just a little fad. We have had multiple days where Tensor is number 2 and gaining market share. I think they will continue. This feels like healthy market share, but sitting at about 22%, 27.7K Solana volume. Hades Swap still sticking in there, about 14% of the market share. Curious about Hades Swap because I think with these enforceable royalties and PNFTs and everything like that, I'm just wondering how their business model is going to work. If their platform is going to be compatible with PNFTs in general. I don't know. I think I mean, hey, HGE came out and said like I hate bears because they're going to PNFTs. I think it's more so like going to PNFTs kind of hurts the Hades Swap business model.
Yes.
And so I think it's more like my bags are affected, bro. Not so much like PNFTs, but I have some columns of that as well. We're going to break it all down. But before we do, let's go to Door. Door, how you feeling about the market right now? Where are we at?
Dude, I'm feeling good about the market. And honestly, I got a little scared this morning. I woke up and saw BTC above 25K. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, my NFT bags must be down bad right now. And fortunately, I looked at the charts and like there was slight by charts. I'm specifically talking about Klano because that's the only NFT that matters right now. Klano's had like a slight pullback. I saw people flooring their croissants for like 70 or something. They just got ate up immediately, dude. So croissants had a hard rebound, and it seems like the market's still alive with Sol pumping a little bit, overall crypto market pumping, and NFTs are still alive, which I mean, I love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. It does feel like Sol too. I mean, Sol just followed Papa Bitcoin a little bit, but dude, Bitcoin, oh my gosh, dude, it has gone absolutely berserk. It has gone nuclear, just rebounding off of 19K, going all the way up to 20. It was at 26 earlier this morning. I mean, like it went like discuss. I have not seen a better 3 days. I don't know ever, honestly, a better 3 day span for Bitcoin. It went up 35%, dude. Like that is insane for an asset of that stature. That is monumental. So I don't know. I definitely is a narrative trading of like, hey, bank runs are happening. It sounds like the federal government is saying that they're just like, yeah, we're just going to let banks fail. In some essence, like we'll honor FDIC receipts. And there's a whole lot to unpack there. That may have to be like a whole separate thread or anything like that. But there's a whole lot to unpack there. It's just pushed the narrative of Bitcoin. We were waiting for something like that where, you know, they're like, oh, the government's going to bail them out. No, they're not. It doesn't sound like it. So if that's what happens, then I think the narrative of Bitcoin goes, then it's like, okay, we need to be decentralized. Like, and then maybe the DeFi narrative starts going. And so it's looking after what's happening in the market. I am worried that, you know, maybe it's a little bit of a scam pump. If they do come out and start saving banks, then, you know, maybe it's like, okay, back to the range. But dude, I don't know. I mean, it's nice to see everybody was calling for $15 Solana. Look, they had to ruin everything, dude. It was such a good short setup for me. I did get my first take profit, move my remaining position into profit, but you guys just everybody had to say $15 Solana. You guys ruined everything for my short, but I digress. Joe, how you feeling about the market? I see you changed it to a nice, lovely tree. Is that a Miss Trees, a Triceratops?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm feeling great about the market, to be honest. I think we all did a pretty good job at not getting too freaked out when the dump happened, and you know we positioned ourselves correctly. At least the ones that you know I'm close with in the space, and that makes me feel good. We're all progressing at an equal rate, just with our investor thesis, and we kind of like been able to bounce off each other and kind of use each other as guides as well. So it's been I mean, in our little echo chamber, I think we're doing well. For the market, I mean, there's a case to be made of people going, where do I put well, not even money, right? Where do I put assets that I have that are accruing value? And it's like, either is it in dollars, is it in stable coins, is it in NFTs? And people are picking BTC and ETH right now, right? They're kind of just, those are two of hedges that are kind of showing that, you know what, in the global market, when there's an uncertainty, you know, hedging into a form of like actual ownership and decentralization and a proof of an asset that's actually, you know, valuable, and you don't need custodianship, right? So I think it's kind of showing like that there's a real case to be made in the macro with BTC and ETH, you know, ranging. But I think we still have to be very careful because there's, you know, securities being thrown around and a great reset. We're looking at the dollar, which is, you know, just who knows what's going to happen to the dollar. Inflation, they want to, you know, possibly hand out money again to everybody. So, you know, it's going to be very much a roller coaster ride here. So spot positions are healthy here. Leverage is very scary, guys. If you're trying to leverage play, be in and out with scalping. And then NFTs, like, pick a team that like IP. Why? Like Klano seems like the play, right? Like if you have Sol, you don't want to sell it and you want to hedge it for a multiple, right? Mm-hmm. Where else would you hedge it at this point, right? Not in a validator, not really anywhere else. All these mints probably will be like flipped and put back to Klano, I think, or OVOs or Liberty, or these teams that actually have proven themselves over a year span and have shown that they have runway, they have media presence, they have, you know, an allure to a public crowd that loves them. So that's where I'm at right now. There's some good few plays right now to hedge in, but other than that, I'd be very, very risk off and be careful. It would be my statement there. Just be careful with your money.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting perspective because it kind of brings us into mints. We are about to hit mint season. we've been waiting for these mints for forever, and then all of a sudden we're about to get hit with three of them. Three of them being Bastards, Oogie, and then Wolf Capital as well. If you guys didn't catch the Wolf Capital episode with Jay Shep, I highly encourage you do so. Great episode. We got to talk to our boy Jay Shep. Of course, I'm going to support him, but for this episode, I want us to remove bias, right? I'm going to remove the fact that Jay Shep is the homie. I'm going to remove the fact that, I know Jesse. I know a couple of people over with Bastards. I'm going to remove the fact that I don't know Oogie too well. Justin seems like a great guy, but just going to remove all bias. We're going to talk each and every one of these three mints and just talk about how you think you are going to play them. Full transparency, I will be fully transparent. I do have his 5 free mints with for the Chad Society, which again I told you guys about Chad Society, and I knew Jay Shep was going to pay off. That's why I'm betting on him.
So, we've been telling people about all these plays for the longest time. You talk about Chad Society. We've been talking about Clay knows 20 Sol. We've been talking about Clay. So, the list goes on and on and on. The lesson is you just tune in to RareFUD every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. EST.
Yeah, it does feel nice to be hitting on all cylinders, guys, because we've been cooking lately. But with Chad Society, you get 5 free mints and then 5 pre-sales too. So full disclaimer on that, I do have Bastards whitelist, and then Oogie I don't have any exposure to. So trying to remove all of that. Let's talk about these. I'm kind of in the same boat as Joe, where it's like, I'm kind of trying to be risk off. I'm kind of trying to be like let's not get too ahead of ourselves. With Clayno absolutely ripping, which I think there's good reason to. I think one thing we're not really seeing as far as the overall picture goes is that it's a very crowded trade. It's like all the momentum is going into this collection, and maybe like we're getting some trickle down effects with some others like Liberty Square. I'm trying to think of a few others. D-Gods and Utes are just their own vibe at this point. But what like Famous Fox's been a stable coin lately. Really the big plays that you've been trying to get into are Lily, Clanosaurs. Geckos kind of fell off for a little bit. They had a nice run up, and then they're back at 43, which was their breakout point. I'm curious about that. That might be a good play right there, but nonetheless, it feels like it's a very crowded trade, and so we're all feeling euphoric as far as Clanos goes. Now, whether it sustains or not, I'm not sure, but then it's like, okay, well, if the rest of these NFTs aren't doing too well, and some of them, have really good value props. Famous Fox has one of the best forward-facing consumer utility out there. You do have geckos, which have been like around since the dawn of Solana, basically. Derugged, now have full autonomy with the team. They're kind of being stagnant since their breakout, and now it looks like they're about 40-ish Sol, which still very good. I mean, they had a nice chart up. So now we're looking at all these plays. Besides Clanos, do we think we have enough momentum? Do we think we have enough velocity to support 3 mints right now? I want your take on that, Door, and then we'll go with Joe. Just on an overall standpoint, do we think we have enough momentum for it?
Yeah, I think we do, man. As Joe mentioned earlier, I think we'll see a lot of this liquidity cycle. So right now, and you said that a lot of the liquidity focuses in Clanosaurs. So it wouldn't be surprising if we see a small pullback there for people to jump into Wolf Capital, Bastards, and Oogie to try to make some liquidity there and rotate that to either back into Clanosaurs or into another undervalued project, which I think will be one of my pick for this week, but I don't want to get into that yet. But I do think we have the momentum there to support 3 big mints back to back.
Okay.
Just because I think liquidity's there, it's going to suck because I think these floor prices are going to be affected. So we're going to see Wolf Capital run up and then pull back.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be. I'm going to go with Joe first, actually. Joe, I want your opinions on this. Do we have enough momentum in this ecosystem right now that there's going to be enough interest that all 3 of these are successes, at least right out the gate?
Yeah, so before I get to that, did you just flex subtly a charcoal Bronto on me, bro?
No, I was like, man,
was that
I just have a B. I just have a B, so I was like, it was a charcoal Rex, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, you see that subtle flex right there? That was crazy. But wait, is Dory sleeping on us? Dory fell asleep, bro. He's out.
No, his connection
knocked out. No, I know. I'm just kidding. Dory just falling asleep. No, Dude, I think no is my answer. I don't think all three will have it in them to sustain a crazy pump. I think one of the three will, and I think unbiasedly, as of right now, I really do think Wolf Capital will be the one that attracts that liquidity in. Oogie, our aggregator for for form function exchange art. Hyperspace really already does that. That's not like a huge utility to have. I don't think the public sentiment on the art is that great as well. Bastards, a lot of weaponized speculation there to be had, right? But then again, there's a lot of like not like bubble goose, but like here's what we have, and you'll see it once it comes out, or you know what I'm saying. I don't know if they'll be set up to really sustain volume trading on that PFP, but we don't know art, we don't know anything, right? So it could go off like a big hit, right? If the art pops and that speculative weaponized shit's there, they come out with another trailer. So that there's a possibility. But Wolf Capital, I think the reason why I'm saying this, and this is unbiased, everyone knows Jay Shep's a big homie of mine, and I'm gonna be unbiased as possible here. I'm just looking at the project in itself. Good pixel art, like back tested on the timeline with people that are artists as well, like one of one artists, love the art. Great pixelation art, great traits by a really one of one artist, a really cool experience with raindrops, right? Then you have the utility aspect, a loan aggregator that's actually really clean, right? 5 devs working on this project that are getting paid monthly. Like it's actual business structure, right? So unbiasedly, I look at this and go, okay, out of the three, I would assume this one would actually receive more volume than the latter because of the two community aspect. You have the flippers and the investors for the SaaS product. Then you have a community of art enjoyers, right? That have ran Critter Call and these other ones up and sustained price action on them. So I think if we do have liquidity here, I think people will like to play with Wolf Capital. And Bastards could be an underlier, bro. If they come out right, that could be very much undervalued and that could rip as well. So it's going to be what, but yeah, I don't know too much about Oogie, man. And that's just my own biased opinions on all three.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I like the analysis. I like the breakdown. I like that we all three have different sentiment. And I think this is what's most exciting to me is that I'm talking to a lot of different traders and a lot of different people have different perspectives on it. That's good. That means there's market misinformation, there's market asymmetry as far as information goes, and that's exciting to me because that means there's good trades to be had on that. 24 hours is going to be insane between all three of them, between projects maybe selling off to get liquidity to buy tops on some of these, or try to
Yes.
buy into momentum and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a trader's paradise as far as NFTs go. So there's one. Two, I want to break down as far as supply and mint costs and everything like that for these projects. One, let's start with Wolf Capital, right? I think they built a really strong foundation. I love that they did Chad Society. J Shep did Chad Society to kind of build that core, build out from there. And then he's been really good with his allocation for Wolf Capital. And I think that's an important aspect. It's something I personally believe in. And so I think he's nailed it on that front. I think the lower supply size and the fair mint price is what gets me going for Wolf Capital. It is some of the best pixel art. Pixel art looks like it's really good. I saw you flexing it in the dojo chat this morning, and it just looks like a really clean PFP. So I'm excited to see it. We saw J Shep's already. J Shep's looks fantastic. So I think the PFP quality is there, and then it really just depends for me how fast they start getting some of the aggregation features out. He's already broke it down. Again, if you guys haven't listened to that episode, it's a great interview to get a little bit more understanding as far as Wolf Capital and what they're about. And J Shep just understands the market very well. So I like that it's lower than 10K supply. 4Sol mint price doesn't feel exorbitant to me. I think that's about fair. I like that he's built a nice, strong basis and allocation feels distributed. So there's that. There's also Bastards, which is a 2.88 Sol mint. That's a really good price. 10K collection. They have not shown any of their cards. I think we'll get to that in a second, but just really clean animations. They're fun. Dude, I mean, it's something that we haven't seen. It's like not just cookie cutter, play it safe type animations. It's like, hey, I'm absolutely gunning for everybody. The very first trailer you saw was gunning for everybody, literally like blowing off Klano's head and going after Blocksmith and like all this. It was raunchy. It was cool. It was different. I think it appeals to degens a lot. And then The trailers from there have been excellent. I mean, the bastard got ripped in half by that dude, put back together. Fun animation. I thought it was funny. Like when he was put back together, they screwed on his head, and then all of a sudden, like his butt cheeks flexed. I was like, dude, that is hilarious. I think there's going to be like a lot more adult humor and like darkness with it. I think that's exciting to me. So I'm really curious to see their hand. They've not shown anything, and I think that's what gets me excited. The one thing I'll say about them is that their pre-sale was less. It was about 1.6 from what I'm hearing. Sold cost versus 2.8. So that disparity, I don't know if they have a vesting period either, which is a little concerning for me, but we'll get back to that in a second. Then finally, Oogie. So these are all minting in 24 hours. Oogie does have a 10K supply, $100 pre-sale. I'm not sure what they're asking for on public or whitelist mint or anything like that, but it's very curious to me. From what I hear, they pre-sold 60% of their supply. In this market, I don't blame anybody for pre-selling. As much as you want to, go for it. But I think the fact that they're pre-sold is actually a little bit more bullish for me. It does feel like they don't have to compete too much with like mint day liquidity. So I think that's bullish for them. They are going for art aggregation. And again, if you can look, I've said it for the longest time. Exchange art sucks. Your SEO sucks. The platform it's just not fun. Like a 0.05 like degen edition mint or something like that ends up costing like 0.07. You're talking about a 40% fee. Well, a little bit of that's gas too, but not much, dude. It's like less than a penny. So I don't know if they can do it efficiently, and everybody says, oh, Hyperspace does it. If you guys are in the 101 space, Hyperspace sucks ass at aggregating 101 art. They just do. They're good at additions. They're not good at like 101 art. So if they can do 101 art in a meaningful way, I think Oogie might have a shot. I personally am not a big fan of the art. I don't know, just the base mod. At least it's a little different. It's like this bat human looking element. I think some of the details are cool and stuff, but I'm going to rank them personally how I see them. One, I'm removing bias. I'm talking about just mint day, right? I think Bastards has the most upside right out the gate. I think Wolf Capital has good upside, but I think the long-term play is Wolf Capital, right? I know what they're going for. I know it's a niche that definitely people need, and it's great pixel art. So I think long-term Wolf Cap wins out, and then Oogie is really going to have to claw their way into a niche. Now, the one thing I won't discredit too is that it's a very DGods-based community, and DGods ride for their people. So, don't discredit that. But I think that's how I rank them right now is Bastards has the most short-term upside. Whatever they reveal, maybe that depends on their long-term success. I can't judge that right now. Wolf Capital is the safest place for me to put capital. I think longer term, they have a niche. They have really good pixel art. I think maybe Mint Day, I don't think they rock it up, but I think that's okay. Like you can slowly grind up and prove yourself as a long-term project, which I think they're going for. And then finally you have Oogie, right? Do you think that's an all right analysis, Joe? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that was fucking beautiful. Excuse my language. That was a great. I was happy as a consumer there, just listening. No, it's a great analysis. And I think with the market, you never know, right? Because I think people can still manipulate through liquidity and through hype. So whatever team is savvy enough at the end of the day, regardless of like what's there infrastructure wise, your savviness can really sell out and then get some volume going. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes to bat here. And I think with Wolf Capital, it's kind of nice, right? Because he thinks about everybody with this, right? Because most people don't have a 2-hour span to just go and mint something, right? So like for it to be a 2-day period for you to mint, you can kind of chill out. Things might not sell out right away, right? Because people realize like, oh yeah, I have a life. Like cool, 2 days. So like I think it's going to be interesting to see because within those 2 days, right, Bastards will mint as well, and Oogie. So like J-Shep started the process and is allowing people to filter themselves in. So it's going to be a wild price action move. But I think we're forgetting is the Tensor aspect, right? Tensor released it officially. You're getting multiples of your own points for just trading Wolf Cap, whatever, trading, listing, selling, market making for a set amount of time, right? So you got to think about this. I myself, hypothetically, if I farmed Tensor, right? And I was a market maker on Tensor, and I did certain collections that have a good delta that is always there. I would then take that liquidity that I have stacked up on orders for market making and then put them to Wolf Capital. What's that create? That creates more retail hype more volume, a steady floor, because you look, oh, instant sell, instant liquidity's here at 4. Oh, the floor is 4.2 on Magic Eden. Then they put 4.3 on Tensor, 4.2 on Magic Eden, and there's an ARB opportunity there with fees, not really, but that's how they capture that instant sell, and those market makers work, right? Because they can resell it and push it on. So I think there's a case to be made with that incentive for Tensor, and with Tensor stealing market share, for people to go, oh, wow, that volume, I'm going to put it to Wolf Capital, because why not? I'm farming. That's what I'm doing. So I think that's a nuanced effect that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about either.
Yeah, I I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think yeah, the fact that they're going with Tensor's dude, I like Tensor a lot.
Yeah.
I know, like, I'm still a Soul Sniper maxi at heart. I think once they kind of smooth out a little bit more on the Tensor side of listings and stuff, I'm, like, I'll go back to Soul Sniper board, but I've been spending about half and half as far as my time goes. I definitely think, look, this is not a discount on Wolf Capital price. I just think the upside on the short term for Bastards is a little bit higher. And I think that mint cost at 2.88, people are going to look at that, and that's just going to be a mega trading opportunity.
Yes.
Now, whether I think that's a long-term hold, I don't know. I don't know what Bastards is. I know Wolf Capital is. And so I'm happy to rotate capital into the ones I think are like the most undervalued, and it will probably be Wolf Capital. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. And so I'm planning on going back and forth. I'm gonna be trading like crazy between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It is going to be nuts. I'm probably going to glue myself to a computer. I haven't had this much fun trading NFTs in a while over the past couple of weeks, and it's just going to get that much better. You partner that in with the fact that I think a lot of people are going to rotate Klano profits or something, trying to like make a profit on these 3 projects, and you're talking about just a trader's paradise, man. I think we are going to see, and it's not even just Klanos either. Like, I'm eyeing Liberty Square, I'm eyeing Lily, I'm eyeing Jacan. I know we talked about Jacan. Like, they are still having an art upgrade coming out here soon. I'm playing the field right now. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. I think a lot of people are going to sell to get liquidity and cycle it into other plays. I know some people think that people have already done that. They've already taken profits. They're just like sidelined, like, where do I find value disparity? I think smart money's done that, right? I've done that. I made sure I had like plenty of soul on the sideline so I can just play these opportunities. Door, I want to kick it over to you. Hey, what do you think has the most short-term upside? And then as far as who do you think comes out the winner?
In terms of short-term upside, because Wolf Capital, Jay Chef's my boy, but I'm trying to take non-bias as possible. Because Wolf Capital is a slower mint and is 4 SOL, 3 to 4 SOL, I think. I think that'll provide limited upside, while something like Bastards has a better trading opportunity. So while Wolf Capital might not have the super upside or might not be the best trading opportunity, I still think it has, at least as of now, because I know more about Wolf Capital than Bastards, because Bastards has been vague about their utility. I know they're an animation studio, but beyond that, they haven't really released much. I know Wolf Capital has that long-term viability, and this is because I'm not the trader on this show, or by trader, I mean the short-term trader. I won't be participating in trading opportunities for Oogies or Wolf Capital, or especially Bastards, because I don't even have whitelist for them. So I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and watch things play out. But right now, and I'm sure people are taking out loans to potentially, like, for those who aren't able to sell off or don't want to sell off their Claytosaurs or any other thing else in their ecosystem, they're just taking out loans on things right now in order to capitalize on these string of hype mints coming up.
Yep, absolutely. So I think that, again, I love the fact that we all have kind of different answers to this, or different beliefs in this. I do think, look, as far as short-term pumps go, you never discount the Boogle's cosign. Like, they have a vested interest in doing so. EJ is a Boogle holder. I know Dan is also, he holds a Dead King. These guys know how to make a project, and they'll make sure they get a vested interest in it. And honestly, I love EJ. I love Dan. I love Dabbich, who's the artist. He was the artist behind Communa 3, and I just thought it was very unique art in that sense. And I think this is their first project where those 3 get to like do what they want with the project. So C3 had like a lot of overhead organizational issues, and they left 2 months before. So I know a lot of FUD was coming out about their affiliated with C3. They left a while ago, so don't like. I mean, if you want to fund them so I get cheaper entry, go ahead. But like I'm fine with it. I do think this is exciting though, and again, I don't want to discount Oogie either. I just don't know them as well. I do think their mint price is just high, and when you're competing with two high
What's their mint
caliber
price?
projects, like their pre-sale was going for like $100, dude. So
Ooh.
comparing that to a 4-sol mint from JShep and then a 2.88 from Bastards, and JShep's has a lower supply.
Yeah,
that's where I'm
JShep's.
saying.
Yeah, I don't know about 5, dog. That's a little bit high, man. Like I'm fine with 4 because it's JShep. Like I know JShep. Like even if like Heist was 4, I'm down with that. But I don't know about Oogie being 5, man. The same thing like what Cowbow or Bow Ball or something like that. A couple weeks ago, they minted like
Yugi Bao.
Yugi Bao. There we go.
Yeah, Yugi Bao with a lower supply too. So like it's the fact that it is the and I have no problem with $100 10K supply and stuff. It's just I don't have a clear like I didn't even know they were making an art aggregator until like just a week ago or so.
Do we need an art aggregator though?
I don't think they did either.
I look, as somebody who loves art, if they can do it right, I promise you I would use that shit all the time.
Okay.
Like I exchange art just sucks, dude. It is literally like my link. The bane of my existence is exchange art. It's fun to scroll, but that's like their SEO sucks. I think unless you are featured on there, it is very hard to gain traction. And so like I don't know if they can do art aggregation in a meaningful way. Good luck doing that. I think it's going to be way harder than people think to make it into a meaningful art aggregator. So the Wolf Capital is just a clear, I know exactly the use case. I know what I'm getting. So that's what I'm saying is like, I think maybe the anticipation factor, the Boogles cosign and stuff is why Bastards has a short-term higher ceiling, and we'll see what they release with it. So I don't know if it's a long-term hold. I know Wolf Capital is. And so I'll probably rotate a bunch of capital into Wolf Capital and park it there, right? Like that. I think that's how I'm going into it. And then I'm definitely taking advantage of like, if Klanos goes back to like 60 or something, all in on Klanos. You give me all the Klanos you want. I don't think they go back down to 50 or anything.
No,
too much.
Even if they do, load up, dog. Bust the bank out and buy Klanos. Like I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, well, it's also the fact that this is all happening in a 24-hour period. The pre-sale for Chad Society and I think pre-sale in general for Wolf Capital starts today. So you do have 2 days if you guys are watching this. It sounds like, and then I'll go into Wolfless. I think they have good mechanics. And again, JShep explained it on the last episode where you can put offers in and see maybe you can catch some like stragglers if they don't completely mint out. That would be cool. But yeah, I don't know. I just think JShep's put a lot of thought process into this. I know for a fact that that's the safest play in my personal opinion of the 3. And then Bastards is the one that I'm like, I definitely want to try to flip into a free bag of Bastards, right? Like, and just like have 3 or 4 of them at least. See if I could just trade like a dirty, filthy DJ. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
It's funny because I love this about the show is that all 3 of us have different perspectives. I'm not even paying attention to the Bastards and Oogies. I'm gonna pay attention to Bastards and Oogies after nobody's talking about them next week, and that's when I'm going to start looking into them.
Yeah, I like Oogie. I've said this I said it on No Fluff this morning too. Is I'm interested in Oogie if it goes below mint price. And it, like next week, I think is a really good time. I do actually think Oogie has value. I don't think it's going to go straight to 0. Like, I can fud them. I was like, Oogie's going to boogie straight to 0 or something like that. That's just fun, dude. I really don't think they're going to go down to 0. I think, look, Justin's a super nice guy, and the limited interaction I've had with him. I know there's a lot of controversy on the art. I don't like the model itself, but the art style and stuff, I think is cool. Like some of the skins and stuff, they look cool to me. I think they look cool, but just the base model, I like the shape of the face and everything like that just doesn't, but art's subjective, right? I know there's some people out there that will like this. So
I mean, they're one of ones. We're going for what, over 100 sold from some of these one-of-one artists.
Yeah, they were also partnering with like the likes of Scum and stuff like that, where it's like, I would hope they go for it. I think that Scum piece went for like 400 something soul, which
That's
sounds
crazy.
par for the course, dude. I need a slime so bad. I need a
Dude,
slime so
I
bad.
want one too, man, but I'm just like, oh, we got auctions tomorrow for this one of One Piece. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not dropping you the alpha on this one of One Piece because
I
I've
know.
been wanting one for months now. And so I'm going to keep this alpha for myself, but no, I'm going to be trying to get one tomorrow. And I'm going to keep my eye out for that. And one of Scum's pieces. Like, man, they're so good, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, look, they already have collabs. They already, I mean, the collabs, and again, I'm trying to make a case for Oogie as far as the bull case goes, is they already have, I mean, they partnered up with Scuba, they partnered up with 10 Acre, they partnered up with Soulcat, besides just the Scum piece. I'm trying to see some other ones that like, Ben Bochao, what his last name is so French or something. I don't know. But he's a goat too. Pencil, dude, Pencils. If you guys don't know the D Gods artist, one of the D Gods artists, Oogie Cast, he did one with Outcast. I love Outcast. I think Outcast is like the X copy of Solana, but you know, that's my alpha for you guys as far as the 101 goes. Their 101s have done really well. Like the minimum they've gone for is like 100 soul.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I see they have really good connections with artists. If they can get it through, I mean, like I can see this actually doing somewhat well, but I do think they fall below mint just because of mint competition. And in which case, then I'm interested in possibly picking up a little bag.
Yeah, and the thing that worries me about like I don't want to say worries me, but I go back to my IP apprehension. I've been burned by plenty of IP plays in the past. I don't want to get into them, but now Claynosaurus has set the standard of how to do IP plays correctly. So if they're not doing it something along the lines of what Claynosaurus is doing, it's hard for me to see the bull case for them.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's fair. I think the most risk is with Oogie. I mean, just solely based off mint costs and everything like that. I mean,
I agree.
That is, but I'm not discounting again. They look, I've had a few people reach out to me and said they're bullish on Oogie, and so maybe like again, I'm just trying to rid bias, trying to look at it from a perspective that I think value is in all three of these.
Yeah, definitely.
If they decide to pull off, and so I'm just as a trader, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited for the end of this week. It's going to be fireworks, dude. It is going to be absolute fireworks for traders. So, look, I think we beat a dead horse. Joe, do you want to have any final say in any of these 3 mints?
Buy Claynos. Oh, 3 mints.
We'll get into Alpha Quarter, dog. You don't have to.
My bad, bro. Yeah.
We know what you're doing back there. Anyways, well, let's just get into Alpha Corner, dude. I have such a strong obsession with Claynos. It's unhealthy. I was, like I said, midnight last night. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I just way past my bedtime, dude. I try to get in bed by like 11 at the latest. I just sitting there. I was like, man, this Triceratops looks pretty cool. Oh, there's a raptor here. I was trying to use core, and I was going back and forth with Jacob. I think Enforced Royalties kind of messed up core or something like that. And so they'll work out their process, dude. If I can buy a Clayno for 33% down, oh boy, I am loading up on all of them, dude. I'm loading. Yeah, so if I can get it to work, I'm using core like crazy. If you guys don't know what core is, again, we do have an episode with UGS where we talked to Jake, and I think it could add some serious velocity into some of these projects. But yeah, dude, if I can get it to work, I'm chomping at the bits. I hope Clayno goes down to like 60. Which I think is a possibility. 50 is FUD. I don't think they're going back down to 50. I don't think they're going back down to 40. I just, dude, if I can get some Claynos for 60, and I'm looking at every other play too, dude. I mean, the nice thing about Claynos, is that all of their airdrops, every single one of them has a purpose. And there's disparity between them, right? There's market asymmetry with like, oh yeah, Claymakers hasn't caught up. This is a good buy. Oh, Clay hasn't caught up. This is a good buy. Croissants are the same price as dinos right now, and there's only 444 of them. Oh, that's a buy, you know, like, and it's just so much, it's so much fun to trade, and they all have a purpose, dude. They're crushing it right now. I mean, I love everything Claynos, dude. I love everything Claynos.
Hey man, I put out a tweet. I had a meeting with Shake earlier about Cyber Samurai, and we discussed Cyber Samurai, but we also talked about Claynos majority of the time. Like that, it just is what it is, dog.
They've captivated me. They've taken me by storm. I just think
wait. You're not ready for this. Once I get my golf balls, it's gonna be Clayno balls. Pause. Clayno balls. Pause.
You're
all day long.
You're gonna be balls deep in Clano. That's Joe has to get the Clano balls to really mega pump them. That's ridiculous. No, I do think, look, Clano's just, dude, they're primed to be the number one project on Solana. In fact, by market cap, I think they're relatively close, but I just think they captivate such a broader audience. Like, this is a project that a lot of people outside of Solana are like, yeah, these slap. There's a couple of catalysts I think are coming up that people are like, oh, where's the bull case from here? Where is the money going to come in from? One, we've already seen ETH money come over, and I think it will continue to. We have two big events, and there is nobody who does events better than Clanosaurs right now. We've seen Sardinias over in Lisbon. Those are now 400 SOL. Like, if you got a Sardinia, you literally paid for your entire trip to Portugal. You paid for it. If you went to NFT Paris, when they went to Paris, they gave out croissants. I promise you, those are probably going to pay for themselves too eventually. They're going to do the same thing in NFT LA. They'll probably have something for NYC too. You have two big events coming up for NFTs. I guarantee you they're going to knock it out of the park. Continue. I know LA is going to be like their time to shine. I think they might be a little bit more coy on NYC. I don't have enough information on that front, but those are two major events where they're going to be in person interacting with ETH money as well. So I think there's enough liquidity out and about ready to buy these things or get the knowledge to buy them. And then the bull case too is that a lot of people are saying like, oh, the PFPs kind of look somewhat the same and stuff. I don't think so. First off, I think they look great in their base form, but two, I think armor is going to be their I don't think it's going to be, dude, the D gods to dead gods glow up was legendary. I think that it'll be very hard to top that. But when they get armor, I think you're going to see like enough pop with those backgrounds and everything like that. I think it's going to make better PFPs. And honestly, I could just see, dude, if they release armors and trading cards at NFTLA, I will be so sad I missed it, because then you're going to have people showing off the armor they got on their Clanos. People are going to be showing off the cards they got in their booster packs. I'm going to be so sad if I miss that, dude. So sad.
Your boy's going to be there enjoying it. And don't get me wrong, I'll tweet it out for you, Bison, so you can live vicariously through my timeline.
Yeah, we're both going to be hurting, B. I'll be hurting right with you, bro. It's okay.
Should we meet up and have a pity party?
We should cry on each other's shoulders. That would be amazing. And, dude, I think clay makers, they don't realize, right? It's a clay maker, so anything, the dino's clay, right? So you're just thinking armor, right? I think people are downplaying what's possible here in this world and what can be created. Like, already Sardinias are being created in a clay maker. We didn't know that, right? So that's a whole nother use case for them now. And it's like, what else can be created in this said clay maker, right? And I think people, like, you really got to think down the line with an MMO like style. There's so, like, if you ever play, there's so many intricacies that you can build, like, and they're not going to cut any corners. So it's gotten to the point now where I think we might range for a little bit, but this is like the long-term play, right? This is like you're betting on Microsoft or something like that beforehand. Like, you kind of see between the lines. So yeah, I'm stoked for it, man.
Yo, Joe, you mentioned long-term play. It seems right up my alley, dog. It seems like
I know, bro. It's crazy, Dor. It's crazy, bro. You about to be a vendor.
I'm so sad I didn't buy a golden clay maker. I'm so sad. They were at like 110, and I was about to buy it. And then all of a sudden, just somebody swept like 3 of them and they went straight to 200. I was like, dude, you're absolutely joking right now. You're joking. This seems to always happen to me. Why, Lord, do you give me your hardest tests? I just wanted a golden clay maker.
He gives it to his toughest soldiers, Bison.
I know. So happy for you, Dora. At least we'll have some boots on the ground for RareFUD. Please report back all your findings. And then we'll have to like you'll have to join RareFUD with your phone, and you'll just have to go around and show everybody. I don't care what your audio quality is. We're gonna have to have people. So I know you're gonna be with Lou, who's in the chat right now. Hi, Lou.
Yeah, definitely be with Lou.
So, and then we'll have other people too. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'm excited for you, dude. I wish I could make it out there. Unfortunately, IRL stuff kind of takes the cake on that front. But I think you're gonna pay for that. They've proven time and time again, you're gonna be able to pay for your trip with whatever they give you at these events. Again, they are just knocking it out of the park with these events and and airdrops and everything. I just think they're so well thought out. I saw a post a while back. And this is the last thing I'll say on Clanosaurus before we go into NFT Showdown. I saw a post a while back talking about the intricacies of like did you know that certain species got a certain amount, like they were guaranteed one clay of a color, and then the like other two were random, and all the math that went into it, and they executed that clay airdrop with ease,
Flawlessly.
dude. They crushed it. So
Mhm.
I just think they're executing at a level that's just so much higher
Yes.
than everybody else right now.
Yes, dog.
And and that's I'm talking about just execution from a business standpoint. That's why I'm so bullish on them. That's why I'm so bullish on them. I love the appeal. I love the NFT itself and everything, but it's the execution. They just keep crushing it, dude. So last
Dude.
day, that was it.
Yo, we could go without Klanos for hours, man. It's just like you start talking about it and it's so much fun. Like the detail that the team has put into the PFPs and the understanding of the market is top tier, man. They are literally primed to become number one in this ecosystem. Like wouldn't even fade them, man. You were, and I did want to hit on the point real quick, what you were mentioning about the armor. They came out with their collection. They understood how important a PFP was. So they intentionally had an option for you to make animate your GIF Klano into your PFP. Do you not think somebody who's this detailed and meticulous didn't consider how armor would look on a PFP? Of course they did. They considered all of this way in advance. So once armor comes out, you think these PFPs look good now, and are the people who are like, oh, they look the same. Well, guess what? When armor comes out, I'm sure this shit's gonna hit different, dog.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe so. It's just that next level of what they're gonna look like. I'm glad I have a croissant. If you guys don't know, I guess the alpha is that croissants are gonna be rare armors, not legendary. That's reserved for gold clay. Curve, I know, is in the audience. I hope Curve held on to his gold clay. I have no idea.
Curve. Hey, I don't knock
sold
Curve,
it.
man.
He
Go
sold
ahead.
it. He sold it for a nice profit, though.
Smart man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him one bit.
No.
I mean, especially in the state of the NFT market when it happened, dude, get
Mhm.
your bag. But also at the same time, now that we see like nobody saw, well, I don't want to say nobody saw Klanos doing this level of execution so quick, but yeah, I mean, the NFT market where it was, dude, you get your like 10 grand or whatever it was. And you like, hey, I'm good, dude. I at the end of the day, I think he will be happy with that decision regardless. So
Shit, I'll be happy with 10 grand too, dog.
all right, let's get into the results of the NFT showdown. We did have 3 picks between us 3. We had Door with Chacon at 8.3, Joe with Octos at 4.52, and myself, I panic picked with a Transdimensional Fox Federation because Door stole my pick. By the way, Door, you said you didn't see my tweet. I went back and looked at it, and I see a favorite from Dorian right there. I was like,
shit,
No.
in 4K, my man front ran. Wow, I love it. I love it.
I was like, motherfucker, dude. It's okay. It's okay. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad you picked. So the winner for this week was actually Door. Not a whole lot of movement between us 3. There was in between the week. So again, Joe actually had, I think, if you want to look at it nominally, the best call if you sold at the peak. But again, Joe's our loser. Joe,
just to know, I did sell that at the peak. I can post it on Soul Sniper, but I suck at this week's thing, bro. It's just the week is so hard, bro. I don't understand it. It's my brain. It's like, oh, this is going to be good for a week, but no, I should know it's good for 10 fucking hours.
Well, it pumped up, dude. They pumped up to like 6 or something like that from 4.5. So it was a nice little 30% gain. But TFF has just been like a stable coin. You did only beat me out as far as a loss goes because the results were Jacon at the beginning of the show. I looked on Tensor too. So we're using Tensor as far as floor price goes. Jacon was at 8.49. Octos were at 4.26. So a 0.26 decrease. And then TFF was at 17.1, a 0.65. Now that represents a 3.66 decrease and then percent decrease. And then Octos was a 5.75% decrease. So he only narrowly beat me out for that biggest loser. Congrats, Joe, on yet another dub on the loser column.
Let's
go, Joe.
Thank you for putting it that way.
One of these days, we're going to have to do like
something.
One of these days, we're going to have to do like a day trading competition so Joe can take some dubs.
I know. Poor Joe
literally
would crush all of us. That's okay, though. So, Joe, we're going to start out with you on your pick. Do you have a pick right now for the next week? What do you got for us?
Yes, man, I've been going back and forth, to be honest. But so this would be my pick. I guess today is hard because, damn. So I got to think really macro here because like I know what I'd pick today, but with events and stuff coming up, I guess my pick would be Liberty Square right now, the original Squirrels.
Damn it!
I had a few other ones, but that's the one I'm going to go with. Just because I don't think they've pumped into their events like others would, and I'm like I would say Klano because I do think, like I said, bro, like Raptors, you're never going to get that below 63 Sol when it was dumping, and they're back above 80. So I just think like Klano wise, if you can get down into the say like low 60 range entry for any of that, that's good. But they've pumped so much going to these events. Liberty Square really hasn't seen that pump into the event, and they're hovering around that 11 to 13 range. So I could see 15 to 17 Sol in a week. So that's what I'm going to
So
go.
you are going with squirrels. I want to clarify.
Squirrels.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the
Big
squirrel,
big nut energy.
Big nut. God.
Your nuts in your balls, Joe.
I know. Good
You already
Lord,
know how
dude.
I'm strolling
Good
down
Lord.
the street, baby.
Okay.
Sideways.
12.18. Jesus Christ. Nuts and balls. Okay, that's Joe's way this week. 12.18 is the floor on squirrels. We'll go ahead and lock it in. Door, I want to kick it over to you. What's your pick for this week?
First, I think Joe's going to pull. Dude, that was my pick, man. I was like, fuck. Yeah, of course you had to take it. But you know what? I might not be able to pick up squirrels. I'm going to take hollow, dog.
Okay.
Primary collection pumps, hollow's going to pump too.
So yeah, I was going to say, I actually like the hollowed a little bit more as far as floor price goes over the course of a week. Just because, dude, if they like, let's say they announce Legends or something like that at NFT LA, I think the floor price of hollowed should be at least a third of the floor price of squirrels, and I think it'll pump accordingly. It should technically be one half of it, but I think a third is a fair multiple. So they're at 3.53. Door, I love the pick. If you didn't pick it, I was going to go with it. So LS hollowed for Door's pick, and then we're going to rock that at 3.53. This puts me in a predicament because I wanted to pick both of those. So I'm just again cucking myself by going last. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
Well, I think we rotated, right? Like you went first that 1 week, then it was me, now it's Joe. Then you'll be first again next week.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going to stick with the Clanosaurus ecosystem. Mm-hmm. I think the one thing I just see as a very undervalued play still right now is croissants. If they go into next week, because I have until Tuesday. Now, unfortunately, Tuesday's episode is going to be right before the party. So I don't know if we'll get the hype going into it, but running into it, maybe there's enough speculation going into it that I think maybe croissants at 75 still feels like a bargain to me. That's almost the floor price of Clanosaurus. That is still way off, the multiple value. If you want to look at it's only 2 times more supply than Sardinia's. And if they do announce armor at this event, we could see a nice little pump from there. So I'm going to go lock in croissants at 75. Perfect. Okay, so to recap, we have Joe with Liberty Square at 12.18. We have Door with LS Hollowed, the Hollowed collection at 3.53. Then I'm going to pick croissants. We're all picking things at NFT LA, which I think is going to be a big catalyst. And I think those projects between Liberty Square and Clanosaurus are just going to absolutely light it up as far as the event goes. So we'll lock it in. And that sounds good. Boys,
have I won yet? Have I won any?
No, you haven't.
You won our hearts, Joe. That's all that you need, dog.
Yeah. To be fair, Joe, you've had winners if you traded intra week, but you have not won at the end.
So I was 0. I'm 0-4. I'm 0-4 right now.
Yeah. In fact, you've been the biggest loser on like 4 weeks. So
biggest loser. Okay. Well, don't if you're trading with the trend here, fellas, don't go with me. If you're
Look, all I'm saying is if you're listening to Joe's picks, know that you just have to sell before Tuesday.
I'm due for a breakout.
Just sell before Tuesday.
For a breakout. That's all I'm saying. Downtrending line of resistance on my picks. When I go, it's going to go. So, place your bets, guys.
So, look, whenever Joe picks something, just think, Joe doesn't mean a week. He means a day, if that. So, just look at his chart or whatever he's talking about, because Octo's pumped to 6. That's crazy, man. You would have definitely won.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely would have won multiple times, but fortunately for us, we have a week, and that is apparently Joe's kryptonite timeline. So we'll roll with that. Guys, I want your opinion. We are about to wrap it up here soon. let's talk about some other alpha. We are just going into the strong NFT LA plays. But I do think there's some other alpha. I think right now I'm just focusing on mints too.
Yep.
Like, I mean, we have 3 mints coming up, and I'm just going to hyper focus on disparity between those, and then just look over and have a watch list of anything Claynosaurus wise. If there's like a big value drop or anything, I'm accumulating like Claymakers Clay, anything like that. I think those are all good plays. I'm looking at Liberty Square. So if there's any value drop there between now and Tuesday, really, if I can find like squirrels at 10, for some reason they drop down to 10 or something like that, I think that's a play. Hollowed below 3 is a play to me. I even like them at this price. I think Hollowed's a strong buy, and even squirrels at 12 feels free. And then Jacon eventually will come out with their new art. Now, the thing is with Jacon, I don't know if it's coming out now. I don't know if it's coming out in a month. Maybe they're waiting for mint height to die down. I don't know what it looks like. So just kind of like, maybe that's like lowest on my watch list, but I think those are really the ones that I'm looking for. Let's go to Door, and then we'll go to Joe, and we'll wrap up the show.
Yeah, the ones that you mentioned, Bison, are pretty much what I was going to hit on. Squirrels, I really think definitely keep an eye on them. Gcon is another one. A lot of the movement in floor price has been organic. They haven't really done much on the marketing side in terms of hyping up their release yet. So I think once they get closer to that, we're going to see a lot of positive price action in their floor price. Another one, which is more on the longer term side that I'm keeping a close eye on, is Critters Cult, man. It's those things are sitting at 4.2, and you know what? They're going to drop a little bit more, but there's some things coming in Q3, Q4. So I'm just keeping I just want to put this on your radar, not for you to pick up now, but closer to that announcement date, within a month of it, I plan on sweeping Critters hard. So I'm just keeping my eye close on that ecosystem, because I think once Critters start ramping it up again, we're going to see some good price action in the floor price.
Yeah, I can definitely see Critters Cult. I just, at this point, it's such a like, it's such a free accumulation zone, anywhere between 3 and like 3 and 4 right now. So I'm like, for me, it's just the downside feels very limited. At the very least, you get the art, which is some of the best pixel art, generative pixel art. I think, maybe Wolf Capital eats into that market as far as, pixel art goes. So that'd be the only thing I look after. If that's the case, you might be able to catch them in the low 3s, and that's definitely a buy for me. So definitely looking into that. Joe, want to kick it over to you. What are you looking at right now?
Yeah, so my thesis right now, so all my liquidity is in Claynos, and what I'm treating that as, it's all jokes aside, it really is. And what I'm treating that as is like a swing long you would opened up on Sol at like $16, right? Or like $7. So my thesis is not looking to sell anything. I'm looking to average in on dips, because my average entry is low enough to where I can get my average entry for a Clayno to be 30 Sol, 33 Sol, and I'm still living life, right? So that's my idea, Claymakers, and just setting collection bid offers on Tensor and market making, and hoping for someone that needs some liquidity to come and get my position of strength. Now, other than that, like in my head, I do think Sharkify is anywhere between like below 12.5 is a good buy for Sharkies. Famous Fox Federation from 59 to 55 Sol is like this range. If they break that range, man, they will run up pretty violently. So that's another builder there that I don't think you go wrong with. But you guys covered the other good ones I would have said too myself. So yeah, really I have liquidity for mints, right? Because there's that little bit of a mint hype cycle. So I want to keep that liquidity. But the rest is really, I mean, I know I'm feeling FOMO because I know I'm going to miss out on pumps of like OVOs and the lip. But like in my head, I'm like, man, this is a massive swing trade that I can really, the value proposition is there for me to try to just average into that. So I'm kind of biased and not diversifying at the moment.
Yeah, totally fine. Totally fair. I do want to give a shout to Michael in the chat. He is like, Underground Society down big. Anyone bullish? I did not realize their chart is so beaten down, and that is I definitely look at that. It's at 3.47 right now. I like it here. I like it here a lot. I mean, this is almost mint cost right here. So look, if I've had some issues with core, I've already talked to Jake about it. The nice thing is I have full confidence of the fact that the team will sort out any issues. So for me, buy the FUD. I mean, like this again, this is kind of like Critters Cult. Your downside feels limited. I believe in their product, and shoot, I
Yes.
mean, that's worth a punt right there. And I like the team. So definitely 3.47 is a really good price right here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I will definitely be looking at Underground Society. I'm gonna add that to the list. But guys, great show today. Had
Yeah,
a ton of fun.
enjoyed, dog.
Seriously, thank you guys all so much for rocking with us every single day. Tuesday, Thursday, namely, is our stream dates. We stream every Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with episodes uploaded shortly after to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you can't catch us then, we want to make sure your ride back home from work or right into work the next day is filled with alpha. So thank you guys so much for tuning into RareFUD Radio. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that little bell notification if you want notifications for whenever we do go live. And we'll see you on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode of RareFUD Radio. Have a great